What is Europe's problem? Well, we have several problems. One of them is this, that of the total of world population growth in this century, 95% will be in the emerging world. It won't be in Europe. Europe's population is actually falling. In fact, some countries like Italy, they passed their tipping point in 2005. Since 2005, the population of Italy has been shrinking. And we're told that over the next 20 years or so, on current trends, they could lose about 20 million of their population. And that does have real effects on growth, on the size of markets, on market evolution and so on, does it not? It's very important. And so we have in Europe now a population that's aging, a population that's shrinking, and indeed a feeling that our economic model is increasingly irrelevant to the kind of challenges of tomorrow. Here is a general consensus view that Europe's population could shrink by 50 to 100 million over the next 40 years. Now, what does it mean in terms of labour force growth? Well, it means Europe's working population will shrink. Obviously, Europe there, minus 25%. It will go down by 25% by the mid-century. Labour force shrinking, fewer workers, fewer consumers, less investment, etc., etc., etc. And so that is really the outlook for Europe. So what's being done? Well, the European Commission, and I have to park my prejudices there, if you like, about the ability of the European Commission to actually change the future, but they're doing the best they can. They have a three-point plan. It's called Europe in the 2020s, or Europe 2020 Strategy. Three-point plan to create growth that's both smart and sustainable, as well as inclusive. That's a Europe 2020 strategy. An economy based on knowledge and innovation, resource efficiency. Why? What are they trying to do? I think the sense of it really is that they're trying to play to their strengths. Europe might have a shrinking population, an aging population as well, but it does have a great tradition of innovation and of knowledge development and education and so on. And so play to those strengths of creating a Europe that actually is very strong in certain areas. In certain areas like advanced engineering, for example, in pharmaceuticals, in medical technologies, Europe is very, very advanced, world leaders indeed. So it creates 7 key initiatives. Here they are. Innovation Union, in other words, making the whole of the EU an innovation-friendly, like an innovation Eurozone, if you like. Similar to that, youth on the move. The biggest challenge for places like Europe is youth unemployment. It's a serious problem. I'll just remind you of the figures. In the US today, who are still also in a kind of recovery situation, youth unemployment is around 16%. In Spain today, it's 56%. Now, the future is about the next generation. And so if we've got half your youth population not in the workforce, not working, not being fulfilled and all the rest of it, exclusive rather than inclusive, then there's some serious problems ahead. So absolutely at the heart of the 2020 strategy is to get youth on the move again, through education and through training programs and so on. It's going to be difficult, but wish it the best of luck. I won't go through all these like a school teacher, but the digital agenda is also very, very ambitious. They want to create, as I say, a sort of Eurozone for data. One of them is a Europe-wide cloud, which we don't have at the moment. So there'll be an EU cloud, and that could be the beginning, if you like, of a much more ambitious approach to information technology. It's still very, very localized, very national level and regional level rather than anything else. And just to remind ourselves, though, that Europe's story isn't, I put Turkey to one side because Turkey is not at the moment an EU member, but Poland is. And when you look at the figures in Poland, again, they have slightly younger populations, a lot of these countries, and a little bit more energy, if you like. So you see here, the growth projections there, according to the IMF, are quite promising. When you compare it with the orange bars, which are, of course, the overall average of the developed world, which has been through all sorts of trouble in the past 4 or 5 years, Poland has managed to stay ahead. So really we're getting to a situation now where in countries in Europe, like Turkey and Poland, you can actually start talking about the new tigers, the new European tigers, just as we talked about the tigers of Asia in the past, the likes of Thailand and Singapore and whatever. They have youthful populations, low debt levels, expanding middle classes, which are the driving forces of growth and development in years to come. So we'll see how that comes out. It is a scenario, of course, so